Well, it's to be expected. See, racism has consequences, and these apply to everybody on the planet each and every day, either directly or indirectly. And that includes people who never even heard the word racism or have any perception about what it is. It's the dominant political and religious force on the entire planet. That's why it should be replaced with a system of justice, which means guaranteeing that no person is mistreated, regardless of who that person might be. No person is supposed to be mistreated ever. And the person who needs help the most gets the most constructive help. That should be the format for the entire world, not glorifying beating up on somebody for any reason that has to do with anything other than self-protection.
Uh-huh.
And anything outside of that, no one is supposed to be harming anyone. But,
but
somebody thought of an idea of racism where mistreating people based on color is somehow a good thing, a glorified thing, a thing that should be preached and practiced all the time. And that took off like a brush fire and has gripped the entire world ever since. I'll just go according to what I've written. Like, I'd like to say more about that maximum emergency, too, but you don't have time, because maximum emergency compensatory justice action is very precise, and I don't want anybody to get not 1 inch of misunderstanding about that, because if you get a misunderstanding about it, it'll be a lot of confusion, and it's not supposed to be any confusion about anything that deals with death-making.
Okay,
because it's about war, because that's not what that was, according to the description. The description of maximum emergency compensatory justice action is in the book, and it's very precise, and those actions taken by the gentleman that we're talking about, the person who is accused of these crimes and who is now reportedly deceased, that person's actions, according to what I've read, do not fit the description in any way, coming nowhere close to maximum emergency compensatory justice action. I want that clarified, as outlined in my book, the textbook for victims of white supremacy. Now, I'd like to say something in general about the entire scenario of police officers and non-white people. All right? First of all, you can't be a police officer. I have that in my book, according to what? Compensatory counter-racist logic. That's what I call it. You cannot be a police officer and be a racist at the same time. It's impossible. Once you commit any act of racism or say any word that is considered to be racist, you have disqualified yourself as a police officer. You are no longer a police officer as of that moment. And you will not be a police officer in any subsequent moments, even though you're wearing a uniform and you have the authority. They call them rogue cops and all like that. Well, these are not the labels that really fit. They are law enforcement officers, but the basic title that they have, if you are a white supremacist, which is what that means, you don't believe in anything except white supremacy. And you definitely don't believe in justice. So you are, in effect, an imposter.